Hello class, and welcome back to Mr. Marlowe's 6th grade online math class. Today we're going to be working on lesson 19, which is solving one-step equations using multiplication and division. Our learning target for today is I can solve one-step equations using algebraic methods, and I can check my answer using substitution to determine if the solution makes the equation true. So if you guys remember, in the last video, we solved one-step equations using addition and subtraction. And here, we're just going to be using multiplication and division. Okay. So example number 1 says 3z equals 9. Remember, when there's a variable next to a number like this, next to a what we call a coefficient, that means 3 times z, or 3 multiplied by z. So 3 times z equals 9. And it says solve algebraically, then check your answer using substitution. Okay, and just like what we did with addition and subtraction, we need to isolate the variable to find the value of that variable, to find what that variable is worth. Okay, so I'm going to start by rewriting the question, 3z equals 9. Okay, now if I want to get this variable alone and it's being multiplied to 3, I need to perform the inverse operation. And what's the inverse operation of multiplication? It's division. Okay, so I'm going to divide both sides of this equation by 3. Okay, so 3z divided by 3, well, 3 divided by 3 is 1, right? 1, and then we have that z left over, okay? And that is equal to, well, 9 divided by 3 is equal to 3. So I have 1z equals 3. Now, the 1 in front of a variable is always implied, so I don't need that 1. So my answer is z equals 3. Okay, so solve algebraically. So we got the result of z equals 3, and now we are going to check our answer using substitution. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to my original equation, and everywhere I see a z, I'm going to put a 3 because z is equal to 3. So again, I'm going to write this down. It's just 3z equals 9, and I'm just going to write up here. This is our check. Right? Everywhere I see a z, I'm going to enter a 3. So that's 3 times 3 equals 9. And 3 times 3 is 9. And is 9 equal to 9? It sure is. So we know that we got the correct solution. Good job. All right, let's take a look at another one. Solve y over 4 equals 2 algebraically, then check your answer using substitution. Now I wrote my y over 4 like this because that's how it's going to look on your Google form, right? I can't write it as a fraction. It just kind of looks like this. Fractions look like this on Google form. So what this would actually look like, if I rewrote it, is y over 4 is equal to 2. Okay. Now we know that fractions can be read as division problems, and that'd be y divided by 4 equals 2. So I can rewrite this equation again. Oops, I'm sorry. It should be a y. Y divided by 4 is equal to 2. Now remember, we want to isolate our variable, right? And our variable is being divided by 4. So if it's being divided by 4, I need to perform the inverse operation. And whatever I do to one side of the equation, I have to do to the other. So what's the inverse of division? Multiplication. So I'm going to multiply this side by 4 and I'm going to multiply this side by 4. Okay? Now, if you remember back from a couple of videos, any number divided by 4 times 4, well, that's just going to be 1. So all I'm left with on the left side of the equation is y. On the right side of the equation, 2 times 4 is equal to 8. So that is our answer. Y is equal to 8. Again, we're going to use substitution to check our answer. Everywhere I see a y, I'm going to go back to the original. I'm going to leave it as a fraction this time. Everywhere I see a y, I'm going to input an 8. Okay? And what's 8 divided by 4? 8 divided by 4 is 2. Is 2 equal to 2? Yes, it is. And we know we have the right answer. Okay? Let's do one more. Example 3. 27k is equal to 3. Solve algebraically, then check your answer. All right? Well, again, I'm just going to start by writing down the original. I'm going to show you a slightly different way to do it this time. So again, I have 27k, which means 27 times k, or 27 multiplied by k, is equal to 3. So if this is being multiplied, I need to first perform the inverse operation of multiplication. The inverse operation of multiplication is division. So I need to divide both sides of my equation by 27. Now, up here, I rewrote it as a division problem, right? But I'm not going to do that this time. What this time I'm going to do is I'm going to write it as a fraction, because that's the same thing, right? So I can say 27k divided by 27 is equal to 3 divided by 27, or the fraction 3 over 27. If you look over here, 27 divided by 27 is 1. Okay, so all I'm left with is the k. So if I rewrite my answer now, I can k is equal to 3 over 27. And I'm looking at this answer, and I can say, oh well, that fraction 3 over 27 that can be reduced. What number goes into 3 and 27? 3. So 3 divided by 3 is 1. 27 divided by 3 is 9. So my answer is 1/9, or k equals 1/9. Now we're going to check our answer using substitution. So I'm going to go back and write down this original problem. 27k equals 3. Now everywhere I see a k, I'm going to plug in a 1/9. So I have 27 times 1/9 equals 3. If I can put this 27 over 1, so they're both fractions. If I'm multiplying fractions, I just multiply across. 27 times 1 is 27. Okay. 1 times 9 is 9. Okay. And is that equal to 3? Well, 27 divided by 9 is 3. And I carry down the other 3, and is 3 equal to 3? Yes, it is. So I know that 1/9 is my answer. Okay, that's it for today. Today we worked on solving one-step equations using multiplication and division. Our targets were I can solve one-step equations using algebraic methods, and I can check my answer using substitution to determine if the solution makes the equation true. If you have any questions, please contact me via Remind, email, or you can join me for my office hours every morning. Thank you, and I'll see you tomorrow.